Okay, we'll start the meeting. Rise to salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. All right. Before we start the meeting, I just want to take a minute to silence for all the poor people in Ukraine. Let's just hope that things get better over there. All right. First order of business is a public hearing for Betsey Haddad, 15 Lake Celeste Drive, Garrison, New York. The applicant is seeking well, actually, there's 4 variances that the applicant is seeking. First one would be a special permit per section 175-23B of the Town Code for the enlargement of a pre-existing non-conforming structure. What a pre-existing non-conforming structure is, a zoning code for Philipstown started April 4th of 1957. So any house who was built before 57 is classified as pre-existing non-conforming. And to do any work, you need like a permit and a variance. So the second they would need is a variance pursuant to 175-23B-2 to allow an increase in floor area of more than 25%. Third is a variance to Town Code 175 Attachment 2 to permit the construction of an addition that shall be set back 27.67 feet from the side yard lot where 30 feet is required. And the fourth one is a variance of the Town Code 175 Attachment 2. Dimensional tablet, maximum impervious surface coverage. In order to increase the maximum impervious surface coverage to 10.56, where 10% is required. This property is located in an RC zoning district. Anybody here want to make tell us what you're trying to do here? Okay, just identify yourself and go over by the microphone there, please.
Good evening. My name is Manuel Quesada. I work for Cayman Toll Architects.
What's your name again?
Manuel Quesada. I work for Cayman Toll Architects.
Okay.
Thank you for having me here, and definitely I agree with you. Person is better than being in Zoom. As you stated, we are seeking for 4 variances. I don't think that is something that increase or damage what the existing conditions are in the house. So I think we are improving the area with what we're seeking. And I think the more difficult one is that the non-conforming status. So I feel that actually, we actually improving the existing conditions by allowing us the additional square footage that we were improving for the house with the mobility and the function in the house itself.
Right. Well, you understand what that is. That's because
Correct.
when I started the code, the houses were built before you certainly
Correct.
you couldn't have them conform to what the code you just started. So,
Correct.
They made them where a pre-existing non-conforming.
Yes. And
you
I
need a
think
permit to do any work on it.
Correct. And the other variances are very minor, as you stated. It's only like the impervious surface is a few percentage over the allowance, and obviously the setback is also about 2.5 feet over than what we allow. Unfortunately, the way the shape of the lot itself and the way the setbacks are being proposed, kind of includes a corner of the house within itself. So that's what we are seeking 4 variances in front of you now.
Okay. Well,
There are a lot of variances. That is correct, but very minor variances as well. Yes.
A lot of variances for a piece of property.
in the addition, what's it for? Bedrooms or for kitchen?
This mainly for bedrooms. The kitchen is going to be staying sort of in the same area where it is right now. The part where is encroaching within the setbacks is going to be part of the office and the main entrance. So that's the 2.5 feet that we are seeking, about 2.5 feet that we're seeking on that part.
Right.
An office for what?
I'm sorry?
You said an office?
Yes.
For what?
An office for the owner. Yes. Now after COVID, sometimes we need a little bit of more flexibility in how things are going on in the future. So they're designing for an office space.
Now, folks came to us February 8th of 2021. We sent you to the Conservation Board because you were in wetlands
We
and
did.
all like that.
Yes.
You know, I read there, they did approve it.
Correct.
Okay, but I read it, but there's like a list of
Conditions that we have to,
conditions.
correct.
Okay.
Yes,
And you understand that you violate any of these conditions, they'll stop the work immediately.
correct, we do.
Okay, and then you'd have a hard time coming back to us again. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, no, no,
So,
no, I
you know,
agree.
just
We
only-
don't
I'm
want
only
to,
for warning you.
yes, we don't want to come back
Right.
asking for additional variances, obviously,
Okay,
so,
if you
yeah.
get approved at all. I'm just trying to say
Sure.
that's the thing, you know. All right. I guess, like I said, a house was built in the 40s and like that, and it is a kind of small house. I understand
is.
that. You know,
It is very small
and,
house.
I looked at the area, looked at the house and all like that. I don't see it really violating anybody's area or any space. I don't see it, you know, bothering the neighbors or anything else like that. You know, I don't know if there's anybody here to speak to that, but,
Well, we have the owner here,
Yeah.
if that would be okay or appropriate for her to
would
speak
you like
as
to
well.
speak? Well, you have to come up.
Sorry, Betsy.
You have to come up and you have to go to the microphone. Otherwise, she yells at me. So go over to the microphone. I know, you yell at me all the time.
I'm sorry, say that again?
It's gonna be the total square footage of the house when complete.
I'm gonna take a look just to confirm that, but it's in the drawings as well, so.
All right.
I just wanted to say, I've worked with Camantal before, and we came before you, but not Manuel, another architect there. And you can check with Greg Warner. I mean, we did a good job we really wanted to make sure everything was, well done and to the letter, and we put in a nice rain garden and everything. So I just wanted to say Camantal is, and that's very important, I know, to you all and to me, to, if you have requirements, if there are requirements, we'll make sure they get done.
We'll be checking on it, because I think you have to notify the conservation officer before you even start.
Correct, yes.
Okay, that's all I want to say.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
What was the square footage again? You
Sure,
increased it to
the existing house right now is 1,400, about 1,400, and what we're proposing is 2,100. Some of the space is being utilized, part of the basement that is not utilized right now.
Right.
So we're increasing part of that to make it function, and obviously the square footage that we added on the first floor area.
Basically 50% increase.
Well, we're doing, yes, about 50% of the house, correct.
Yeah, it was over 25%, it was close to 50.
Correct, correct. And that's part of what we have said, so, yes.
50%, right, yeah, it's over the 25%. You see, like I say, with the pre-existing non-conforming, even to touch it, you can do 25% more, but you gotta get a permit. Then to go over that, you have to get a variance.
Correct.
That's why
We
we're
understand
talking
that.
4
Yeah,
variances
we
here.
understand that.
Okay.
And again, just keep in mind that part of the existing house is now being utilized to the fully because it's just the height of the ceilings. So we're trying to utilize all that stuff. So as a part of the existing, does not count as a habitable space. So now we're trying to make it habitable. So the square footage, if you look at the perimeter of the house, we're not increasing that much. Literally, the outline of the building, the only thing that we are doing, and may I show you here? Sure. So if you look at, if you look at the diagram that we have, sorry about that. So part of what we're trying to accomplish, is this part here. So this is the square footage that we are adding into the house itself.
Right.
So it's just the yellow portion. So if you were to flip the other pages, it gives you a little bit of more of a diagrammatic information in what we increasing. So this is the line, obviously, as you can see, this is the setback that we're encroaching as well. We are adding the rain gardens. One of the provisions that I was asked for the environmental board is that we actually removing part of the house to make it more as a deck. So this yellow portion in here is part of the building envelope itself, but we are removing part of an addition that was done previously, and we are actually putting a patio, so a little bit more outdoor space as well. So the bulk of the construction itself is just going to be on this corner here.
Right. kind of squaring off the house, basically.
Correct, yes. So, and I show that in different diagrams as well, if you look at the drawings you have or the drawings that I have here as well. And flipping that over, I believe this, I included the floor plans as well. That gives you a little bit of an idea of what the layout looks and what we're trying to accomplish as well, and just highlighting again the areas in yellow, that those are areas that we are trying to improve the property itself. The last one is just more like how the house is going to look. So just to give you an idea that we are trying to keep a very traditional with everything else in the neighborhood as well.
Okay. Any board members have any questions?
Your neighbors around you, is there, how close is your nearest neighbor?
Well, Betsy owns the property up in this, up on top, the same owner, and then we have one across the stream. I want to say about 100 feet more. The one from the stream, more or less, about 150 feet away from there. That's the closest neighbors that she has right now for that property. Yes.
Okay. Well, we sent letters to the neighbors.
Correct.
So if anybody
Yes.
has any questions or something, they can go to the town, look at the plans, or they can come here tonight.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they receive anything, any letters from any of the neighbors, but we're not aware anyone is in opposition of the project.
Right. Well, if anybody had any real problem, they would be here, you know, basically. That's how, how it happens. Anybody else have any questions? Adam? You're good? Okay, all right. All right, now, is anybody from the audience that'd like to speak to this? Okay, so let's make note that there was nobody from the audience to speak, except the owner. Okay, at this time, I'd make a motion to close the public hearing. Can I get a second?
Second.
Mr. Sisson seconds it. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, it's unanimous. Okay, now we're going to vote on it, on the 4 variances. I'm not going to vote, huh?
Do we have to vote on all of them individually, or can we vote on all at once?
Adam?
I mean, you could, theoretically, if there's one particular variance, but I think it doesn't make sense because it's an integrated application. In other words, the addition that they're proposing creates a small insufficiency on the side yard setback, but the addition also encompasses the floor area. It also encompasses impervious surface coverage. It also encompasses the need for a special permit. So you can't pluck one out. That wouldn't make much sense.
Is there one you have a problem with, or are you concerned about it, something like that? Okay. Then I think it'd be best to vote on it as a package. I'm going to take a roll call vote on this. Again, you know, it's 4 variances, and Mr. Sistone?
I vote to approve.
Mr. Lynn?
I vote to approve.
Mr. Lynn?
I vote to approve.
Hogan?
I vote to approve.
And I vote to approve. Okay, it's unanimous vote, so
I appreciate your time, and I appreciate that all
Now-
the work that you guys do. Thank you.
now here's it's your lucky day. Because how this used to work, it used to have one meeting 1 month where you would have to give your application, we would review it, okay? Then the next month, we would do it where we'd vote on it. And then the attorney would have to get it together, and the next month is when we sign your resolution. So, but thanks to our Secretary Cheryl and the work from our building inspector, we've got a form that I can sign, okay? And I can sign and give it tonight, and you could go tomorrow and get your building permit if you want to. Okay?
Thank you very
So,
much.
thank her again for doing all that work, and it makes it a lot easier for us, and I'll sign that, and you're all set.
I do appreciate that, and thank you for all the hard work that you guys do.
There you go, sir. And you could bring that tomorrow to the building inspector, and you're all set. Okay, then the resolution will come from the attorney. He's got a type of, when he sent it to our secretary, I go up and I sign it, and that'll go into the official file. But this is enough for you to get your building permit. It saves you a month. Okay, all right, thank you. You're all set. Good luck. Okay, any old business? Any new business? Well, new business, I'd like to welcome Janice to the board. I know she'll do well. And I'd like to welcome our new representative over there from town board. She's going to be there reporting to us, report to the board. Okay, so it could be nice to her. So we don't want to get in trouble. That's it. All right, make a motion to adjourn?
Second?
All in favor? Aye. That's it.